Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. This is Lisa Princic. I'm your host. I am the owner of Scaling Deep. I am a membership expert, a business strategist, and I'm here to talk about content because so many people are plagued by the onerous task of thinking they have to create so much content for their membership. So we're going to talk about that today in another video inspired podcast episode, which I'm kind of loving. I launched my first video podcast last week, basically just recording on video versus just audio. And I was a little bit surprised at how much easier it was. And why I did it, I mentioned that last week, is because I know video is important and I know it's a great way to connect to people. And I also really want to streamline my efforts and not just be creating like tons of work for myself to be creating like snippets of things and doing extra things and performance things that I'm just not that excited by. And nor do I really like consuming. I like diving a little deeper into a topic. And so I thought, well, I just got to record this thing and it might be kind of difficult to do it solo. And then I tried it and I was like, hey, it wasn't so bad. And actually it's a little faster because I roll with it more and I don't make as many edits. And maybe it helps me to stay a little more focused because I am a little more present with the visual of doing this. And so feeds two birds with one hand and saves me some time. So that's a total bonus. So here I am going to keep this up for a while and talk about things that are really relevant to you and what I'm hearing people talking about and mentioning and saying are their challenges. So that's what has inspired the conversation today about content, because I've been doing a bunch of research and doing like customer interviews, clients, members, and also people who haven't bought from me, and just to find out what's going on a little bit more for them. And actually, if you want, you can sign up for that. You just have to email me at lisa@scalingdeep.com and I'll send you the link. But, and I'll give you a free thing from my shop, which you can check out at scalingdeep.com/shop. And I really I'm digging deeper into what people want in a really deeper way than we can even begin to imagine without asking the question. We'll never quite know. And what's getting in their way. So I have all kinds of information coming at me, which I think is what strengthens our value propositions. And it's what strengthens our communities and programs and offers and really strengthens our sales, because not only are we more clear to the people who we are inviting into our world, our memberships, our offers, our programs, we are also more confident. It's one thing to know our value, and it's another thing altogether to have that validated by someone else saying, here's what I love about this program, or here's what I like about you, or here's how I articulate my problem. And you're like, oh, that's exactly what I thought was the most valuable thing or problem I solve, or the problem that I like really want to solve. I think that really helps because we can get more confident that we're really saying the right things and focusing on the right message, and also decluttering the long sales page that just rambles on, or taking out testimonials that are kind of flat. Like I was helping one client level up her sales page today for a really fascinating program. And some of the testimonies are the way they've been asked. They're like, what was your favorite thing about this program? And someone wrote everything. And I'm like, well, the thing with that is that it's not an awesome representation of what it was truly like to experience that program, because everything doesn't mean a lot to anyone. And we sometimes want our testimonials, for example, to tell a story and to really mirror the story that we are telling in our copy. So when our copy and our sales pages and our trainings and sales videos and all these things are trying to say, like, look, if you are struggling with this, we are going to get you towards this amazing thing that you truly want. We need to be really confident in doing that. And when we can show an example or a story of how that transformation is possible and how people have got it and how you understand it, they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to get value from this. And that really makes us feel like we can't wait to get out there and get it in front of more people. So on that note, let's talk a little bit about the one thing that does hold people back from selling and from launching their membership and from relaunching their memberships. And this is what I hear all the time, is confidence in the value, which comes also from structure of the program and the content in the program, like how to structure the content. Because when we have people in our programs who are consuming our content and doing the work, we feel awesome, right? We just feel like, yes, this is my dream work. I'm in the right place. They're in the right place. And I can't wait to bring more people in and get more people doing this because they're getting results. And our biggest fears sometimes is that people won't consume the content, or we can't deliver on it. We can't deliver on the thing we've sold, which also makes us hold back from really selling when we're doubting ourselves, when we're doubting, like, it's one thing to say, like, I'm worried that no one will buy. And it's another thing to say, I'm worried that no one will buy because they don't see the value, or people will buy and not see the value. I think that holds us back more than anything, because we do not like to sell things that we don't believe in. I mean, that's what my biggest fears were years and years and years ago when I first started selling anything. Like, even before I was in business and I was working for other companies where I was like enrolling people into programs and memberships, I felt like, do they really need this? Is this really going to make their lives better or improve their company or get them their goals? And I had a hard time selling it if I didn't really believe that it was adding value, not only to us, but to them. And that's where knowing what's in there is kind of our foundation, and knowing that we can keep up with it without overwhelm and that it's worth it is also is our foundation and our mission for the membership as this model, because, you know, we could be selling it in different ways, and we want to make sure that we don't feel like overwhelmed by this like treadmill of content that we kind of keep having to give out and perfect how we give it out, have it be really consistent, have it be like a system, and then know people will use it. So let's dispel a few of the myths. Now, a few of the things that I hear people say is that, oh, but you have to continuously create content. You don't, and you really, really don't. I love helping people figure out how to craft their membership structure and deliverables, meaning the things that you do to get your members to take action and get something out of, based on their zone of genius, based on the thing that they do best and love doing. And like so it's like that what lights you up question. How do you do more of that inside your membership? And, you know, what do you really stand for? So how do people just get value from being around you in any form because of what you're standing for, in terms of, like, I really want to help people, for example, in my membership, build a movement, build a powerful movement of change through having a membership where lots of people are coming in and getting benefit from it. And I've got like just 2 members I was talking to today on a call, and they both have really big missions, and they both want to impact a lot of people and create a movement. And that's so helpful for me to know, because that's really what I want to deliver. and they're more likely to kind of be around and consume like whatever I have to share with them, and like take it seriously and show up to something because that's their intention and that's the intention I hold for them. So sometimes just really having clarity in the vision is like a huge step towards that content problem, rather than getting caught up in the details and figuring out like every day, here's what I do, or every week, here's what I do, or every month, here's what I do. It doesn't have to be that way. You want to have a structure. You do want to find your content plan. And I help people with that all the time, but you don't necessarily have to figure it all out in advance, and you don't have to do all the things. So really that is one of the myths that I hear the most is if you don't create enough content, people will leave. When actually, I think if you create too much content, people will leave. And I've seen that more often than I have seen the opposite. There are so many people who are consuming way too much stuff, and a lot of it's even free, that if we keep layering on the stuff, they just go, I can't do this. I'm going to have to stop because I need to stop the hose. I need to stop the fire hose of stuff coming at me in order for me to feel successful and in order for me to complete the things that I'm already working on. So that is really good news, I hope, to a lot of you who are worried about that. Creating real value to your customer is about knowing what they really truly want, and then knowing what's the minimum that you need to deliver in order to get them there, so that they aren't overwhelmed and so you aren't overwhelmed. And that is really one of the biggest myths I hear is that idea of more, because we're so inundated with stuff and we're so inundated with content right now. And in fact, here's another example of why and how too much content doesn't even work in the pre-sales process. So before you've even working with members, giving too much content, as I alluded to last week in the episode when I talked about one of my launch mistakes, was giving people too much content. There was too much to consume and they had enough. They didn't need to join the next thing. And I had another client today who experimented with giving away a free module of her program to her list, her interest list, in order to generate some sales, like really early bird sales for the program. And I kind of said to her, like, whoa, before she did it anyway. I said, people don't want free modules. Like it doesn't even describe what people get. And it's like just saying there's more stuff for you to learn and get buried with. And I said, that worked 10 years ago. 10 years ago, people were like, so like dying for real substance. And in the wild west of like the online world, which is what it was in the early 2010s, and even before that, people would download something and it would just be a gimmick. It would be like a really bad thing. And you're like, this was just like clickbait. Like it was nothing. Like you like, oh, get you the top secrets to da-da-da-da. And you'd get it and you'd be like, I learned nothing. This is lame. Like this is kind of a trick. Whereas it's changed, right? There's more authenticity. There's more thought going into things. There are better, like, and more trustworthy people in the market, and they are giving away great things for free, and they are giving away really good trainings and solid trainings that will give value for low amounts of money. And even, for example, the bundle that I'm in, the business bundle, is giving away like over 100 what are normally small paid products to people who sign up for free, which is crazy, right? So that has shifted our paradigm to, okay, now everyone's got so much content that now it's not a matter of like, give great content and you will get the sale. Now it's a little bit more about really, really empathizing and getting clear with what people want, and that also includes holding back with our urge to fill up the space, the quiet, when people are like ingesting and digesting and implementing with just more stuff. So we're going to resist that urge. I'm going to teach you how to resist that urge and share with you how you can, in both these situations, deliver the right amount of content to your members, to get confident in your content structure and structure of your membership in general, so that you can launch and feel really good about what you're bringing people into, so that you grow confident in your sales. And I'm also going to teach you how to deliver the right amount of content during your launch or your open cart or your one-by-one sale. If your membership is open and people are coming in and finding about you daily, then how to do that, how to show them just enough to get them excited to take the next step, to join. And that is my mission, and that is what I am super committed to doing. I'm not going to share with you exactly how, but I want you to stay tuned and tune into the podcast next week, June 29th. And I will share with you a couple of programs, short, intensive, 1 month long programs that are coming up that I'm going to be teaching you how to do all this, just the right amount, so you get to the next step and guiding you through it so you can get, your individual answers on some questions. Because I know what it's like to take courses and not have anyone there to run what does this mean for me? Or am I in the right direction? Am I getting this right? Like leaving us to figure it all out by ourselves is challenging. So this is what I'm going to be bringing to you. And I will be announcing it in 1 week's time. Or if you're on my email list, even better. Or if you sign up for my app, you'll also get a notification when that's available. And all that can be found on my website. So stay tuned for that, because I really, really, really want to help you get out of this conundrum about, I don't exactly know the value I deliver, and therefore I'm afraid to get it out there. And that really doesn't help you get testing and experimenting and starting to deliver in this format so that you can improve upon it and then make it wildly, wildly successful and highly, highly impactful. Because that's what it's all about. And we got to get over ourselves a little bit to be able to do that. So that is all coming up on the podcast next week. So thank you so much for being here today. And if you are checking this out on video content, awesome. Let me know what you think. It's always fun to get some feedback. And have an awesome week. Bye for now.